qualify for some of the fun things the company is doing. So we're going to focus on that. Next, I think I'm going to jump right into leadership. It was so amazing. And it was really a tag team effort because I am notorious for taking 1,000 pictures and never posting them. So I will apologize in advance. I'm trying to work on that, but it's not a high priority for me. So I'm kind of working on it, but not especially hard. So I would take them, give them to Denise, and she would put them on. Between my pictures and her pictures, you guys got a good feel for it on the Future Inspired area. Wasn't it? Didn't it look fun? I mean, we had them all, and the food and the desserts, the reception. They had everything, and they have gluten free, and they have, they cater to all of us, and the meals were even great during lunch. So it was really fun trip. And then we got to go on Riverwalk and enjoy it. And we got in the pool the first night we were there. Did you hear that? The pool outside, the sun was shining. But then the weather changed the next day. So we only got one trip to the watering well there, but it was great. Oh, I also wanted to talk about so Mary Kate has a skincare challenge, a skincare set selling challenge. And basically they're doing it for units. So it's not individual consultant recognition, so to speak. But what it is it recognizes our units. And so the company's doing that. But the good thing is it's based on new skincare sets ordered from the company or sold, that your customers order from you, meaning you want to get in front of them and have them try the new Mary Kay skincare line, which is the stepped process, that cleanser, mask, toner, or the scrub, toner, and moisturizer. So when you order any combination of 3 of those from the company between now and, what was the deadline, February 28th? Yeah, January 1st through February 28th, they are going to give whoever orders them, consultants and directors alike, 6 free samples of the mattifying regimen. Because I know we got hydrating regimen sample, or at least the moisturizer in our lookbooks for the PCP. So just know that you are going to get that when they order, and they will be included in your order during the checkout process if you have any combination of 3 of the hydrating regimen or the mattifying regimen. So if you have any questions, reach out to us afterwards. And then Mary Kay also has the MK Just Add One challenge, which if you're out seeing faces and having them try this new product on, then, and it's not terrible, we've had it now for a little while, but if they're trying it on, then this is a great promotion that just goes right along with that. And it's 1 product, 2 friends, and 3. Okay, they made it really simple. 1, 2, 3. Oh, baby, I saw back up there, baby. So 1 product, 2 friends, 3 weeks, and you're reaching out to customers who have skincare goals, and it's a great reason to just reach out to them. And I've thought about, I'll incentivize my customers to do it just by offering them their set at a discount if they want to try it, or if they want to go set, if they want to try the go set. But the full size sets are what you're getting the samples for when you order from the company. So any customer who wants to update their skincare regimen, has skincare goals. So when they add just 1 more product to their routine, it's helping your business. And that's what the company is trying to do, is help you boost your business, get your customers on more of our products. So we're just focusing on adding 1, talking to them. Hey, what, if you could change anything about your skin, I know you love our skincare line, but, where do you see that it's lacking right now with this season? Maybe I'm extra dry. Maybe I'm feeling a little flaky, maybe, droopy, whatever, dynamic wrinkle limiter. There's so many different products you can offer them in all of our supplement lines. So just 1 more. And then there is a social media playbook. There's a whole step-by-step thing on InTouch about it. There's a video, there's captions, content, all of that for how to do it. So just check in on InTouch to figure out what your plan is. And that could be your only plan for the month of January. It's just contacting your current customers along with new and starting with that. It's simple, it's easy, and it kind of spoke to me because it's a no-brainer. It's already customers that love you, right? So get started there. And then of course the company still has that the new paid social media advertising that you can check in on InTouch as well. Okay, I think that was it. And Ryan Rogers is going to award a $200 gift certificate to the independent sales directors whose units meet the following criteria. If our unit wins, we're having a pizza party. So it's going to go back to you. And I think that was it. So check out InTouch for that information. Now, So much fun, so much fun. I, again, enjoyed it, the pool, like there wasn't a moment when it wasn't fun and rewarding. So I'm gonna try and just go through and grab some of my notes and a lot of my stuff was from the classes. And I know that it's geared more for directors, but there were pieces in here and quips that I want to share that are universal across the board for wherever you are in your business. Consistency is the key, of course. We had our first meeting on day 0, and that was our Mary Kay National Area meeting. And there was a comment that was, a brick can stop a train from starting. When a train is at a dead stop, if you put a brick in front of one of the wheels, it cannot go. You know how big a train is? Have you ever really been next to a train when it's moving? There's a lot of power in it. But a train with momentum can easily plow through a 6-foot wall of bricks. So remove the bricks. I thought that was kind of, it spoke to me and I wanted to share it. And Brian Rogers, of course, reiterated to us, and it was throughout the entire week that we were there, that Mary Kay will always stay a family-owned, multi-generational company, and there is not going to be any changes to our business model. So just know, I know some companies are not faring as well as we are in Mary Kay, but Mary Kay is not going to change, and it was his promise to us. They're constantly looking at finding new opportunities and maximizing them for us. And they keep us in mind, the sales force, with every decision that they make. And for those of you who've been in for a while, you probably already know that, but it's just so nice to have that, you know, validation that what we've been told is true. And I agree that it's important that we stay the same. That's why we've been so successful so far. And then Kim McClure talked about events and coming, and she kind of gave us all a shout out for showing up for leadership for those who could, because events give us courage, they give our business direction, and they fuel our passion. And that spoke to me as well. So we have career conference coming up, and if you are feeling maybe stuck in your business, or wanting to go make a decision to do something different, whether you're stuck or not stuck and you still have momentum at this point, know that career conference is the key. You want to go so that it will help you keep your momentum going. And let's see. Oh, and they did talk about over 50 of our products now have the Good Housekeeping seal. And for those of you who don't know what that is, I am going to reiterate it because I was talking to this lady on the plane about it. Well, her and her husband, they were asking me questions, and I said, and I kept saying, and it's backed by the Good Housekeeping seal. And they looked at me like I had a third eye. And I was like, do you know what that means? It means that the Good Housekeeping Company takes our products and runs rigorous tests on them after they have been developed already, and we run all of our tests on it. And they take what they, the results that they got from that third-party test, and if it meets our claims that the company has, then they back our product. And let's say I told this lady on the plane, I was like, okay, so let's say you buy a product from me and then I disappear and you can't find me, so you can't return it because everything in Mary Kay is guaranteed, and you don't know that you can call the company. You could go to Good Housekeeping and tell them that you want a full refund, and they would refund the product because they're backing it and endorsing it with their seal. So I thought that was pretty cool that we have over 50 products now backed by the Good Housekeeping seal. That's important. People need to know that the company that they work for has products that are backed by something that's so compelling, by a third-party company that doesn't even get any money from us. They don't earn anything from us. So the new buzzwords were, we will win with skin. And I really liked that because that's truly where the basis of our company came from. We got to kind of rub elbows with Jessica Bear, but I think Denise is going to share those numbers. So I'll leave that one for the Mary Kay Foundation. It was really neat to get to just sit there and have a conversation with her at the reception and kind of just get to know her as a person. We see her on stage, she shares all the facts in her life, but rubbing elbows with people in the reception and being there with the Nationals and Ryan Rogers and Jessica Bear and Mary Kay's family, it makes you feel very special to be a part of that. And the fact that they do that is, I don't know other millionaires that actually want to rub elbows with their sales force. Lots of stuff in our classes was based on social media and promoting our business there. Remember, so Megan Coleman was one of our teachers, and if you follow her on Instagram, you know that she is amazing, and she was the #1 director last year in seminar for all the seminars, I think it was.
Are you talking about Chapman?
Chapman, did I say it wrong? Well, I said Coleman, didn't I? Yes, Megan Chapman.
Yeah.
I wrote it down wrong. Anyway, she was phenomenal and her class was great. She talked a lot about that. I'm not gonna go into details because there's a lot. But she really just talked about how her passion was to reach more people, and that was amazing. See. Know that your customers are with you because they like you. They're with you and they understand that what they're buying is a good product because you're doing your job and the company's doing their job. This director also shared, the why wash with Mary Kay, letting your customers know, or your potential customers that you get in front of, that they're supporting a small business, a local business, because that means something, especially to the newer generations. And they perceive the value in what they're getting. And they want consistent traits, honesty, reliability, and integrity. And we're proving over and over again that they can trust us, they're comfortable with us, and they feel safe with us. So continue to do everything with integrity. And there were some new numbers that came out because I'm an information junkie, so I always hone in on those things, on our best practices and whatnot. And it used to be that it took 7 times. So how many of you, just raise your hand if you're on Zoom or live, just in your own mind, raise your hand if you've ever given up after like 3 tries trying to reach somebody that you got in touch with at one point, right? Guilty. I think we all are, right? Like 3 times, maybe 5. The new numbers. It takes 36 times for people to hear something before they get it. So for instance, on social media, the information that you're putting out, if you're putting information on social media, Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, they need to see it 36 times instead of 7. 7 was the number, it's now 36. So don't feel like you're over, populating your information. That's the way of the future. So I thought that was worth sharing as well. One little thing that stuck out to me was one of the directors started a portfolio, and we used to call them before and after portfolios or executive women portfolios, but this one was called a legacy changer portfolio. And I really liked the words because it has meaning to me, that it's a legacy is something that makes a difference. And people today want to do something that makes a difference. They want to be a part of something that makes a difference. That's why we're here, right? And she gave a list of some of the things that you could look for when looking for women to put into your portfolio. And that was, everyday heroes like moms, foster moms, people in the medical field, military, working women, teachers, women that are just sugar sharp, women who are making a difference in the community, in their own family, and impacting people. And just let them know that you'd love to honor them by putting them in your portfolio. I thought that was a really great way to segue into getting a booking from someone by honoring them. It's not about you then, it's about them. I have lots of pages, sorry. I should have consolidated it into one page, but I didn't. Directors. One of our classes was an independent sales director, Tandy Fisher, and she shared, she's got $1 million unit, and her unit is called Tandy's Testimonials. And she really talked about how we need to encourage, motivate a culture of confidence with our people. And so she brought up some numbers, and again, I'm drawn to those numbers. And she said 31% of adults experience anxiety at some point, but 69 won't. So we focus on the negative right now. There's so much negative in the world. So 69 don't. So that's a really great thing to focus on. So we're focusing more on the positive. 42.6% fear failure, but 57.4% don't. 85% of people experience self-doubt at some point in their life, but 15% won't. So be the 69%, be the 57.4%, be the 15%. And it's not that it can't happen, but I just was impressed with the fact that she took the time to focus on a more positive thing, because anxiety is a buzzword right now that we're hearing as well. And when we're confident, we're not anxious, right? Control your controllables and change habits. Let's see. Oh, and this was another one. Condemnation is past focused and conviction is forward focused. I really like that. I'm going to say it again. Condemnation is past focused, condemning. Conviction is forward focused. And this was, I wrote this down because it was a quote I had never heard from Mary Kay that someone spouted while we were there, and it was in her last speech. And on the whole note of our growth and adding people to our team and moving forward and not being afraid to talk to people, was she said, what more could any woman ask for but to be surrounded by you? So think enough of yourself to offer yourself to them. We are in a servant's space when we're in Mary Kay, and we make it about them. That's what we're here for. But what more could any woman want to ask for than to be surrounded by you? And the Mary Kay said that about all of us, the woman herself. So I want you all just to kind of keep that in the back of your mind. National Sales Director Dawn Otten Sweeney said, gave a lot of content, but she said, decide I am unoffendable. We're women, we wear our heart on our sleeve sometimes. Remember to just stay unoffendable. What other people think is none of your business. Oh, and we also got to see the #1 or the first male national sales director in the United States, Angel Guerrera. He spoke, and I have a ton of notes from him as well. It was really geared for directors though. But he was very motivating, because men think more in black and white than women. And yet he still had a heart in it. So I enjoyed his speech as well. And success is about who you become along the way. National Sales Director Patricia Turker was there. We had 18 nationals. I think it was 18. I heard on the call this morning it was 20 nationals that actually retired. So there is room for new nationals, and that is my goal for my unit at eventually, not this year, but shortly after. Okay, I'm going to leave you with align with your deep why. Of course, my words for the year were align and allow, and so that one stuck out to me. And align with your deep why. And I think that's it. I mean, there's so much, but those were the things that stuck out to me that I wanted to share. And then I'll close with it.
I'll have you come back up and share that. Let's give
Okay.
that for April, you guys. And you know what? If you think of more things, then you can just pop right back up when you come in to share the
Okay.
motivational closing for us. Do we still have some people on here? I think that the Wi-Fi cut out, so I turned my Wi-Fi off because for whatever reason in this room, sometimes that is spotty, but oh gosh, yes, I've been to, I think 34 or 35, because next month will be my 36-year anniversary in Mary Kay, and I've been a director all but about 1.5 of those years. So leadership conference is fun because it's a little bit more laid back, and the schedule is a little bit more chill and all of that kind of thing. And I did the same thing. I just go through my notes, and I'm going to just kind of, I'm not going to share the things that April shared. So but you hit on some really good things, and I think we kind of had some of the same focuses. So this is a thing I've heard before, but a rising tide raises all ships. I just love that. And so again, focusing on, you know, it's similar to Speed of the Leader, Speed of the Gang. Like when you're motivated, when you're fired up, when you're focused, then you will attract people who want to be around that. Because really, we're not selling Mary Kay, we're selling ourselves. People who want to be around you, people who want to do business with you. This was so funny. I'm trying to remember who this was. It was right off the bat, but I think it might have been Donna Otten Sweeney. And she said, you know, you are already a winner if you are here.
Oh, yeah.
She said there were millions of sperm. You are the one that made it to the egg. And I thought that is so fantastic. You are here for a reason. I love the thing about the brick and the momentum. You know, a brick can stop a train. You know, but you know, once that train gets momentum, it can go through a 6-foot wall. This was twice I heard this. Candy Lewis, one of the national sales directors, brought up SMART goals, because sometimes we get all fired up at these things and we're pie in the sky and we just get so fired up. And, we have to make sure that our activity is going to match that goal. So a SMART goal, that's a cross-circle acronym for S is specific, M is measurable, A is attainable, R is realistic, and T is trackable. So, and that's the reason we do the vision boards and we focus on the activity and we break it down. Because, and again, a goal is not a good goal if it's not your goal. If it's not your goal, don't have it. Don't do it for somebody else. Sometimes people will do more for other people than they do for themselves, but it has to be something that you want as well. Let's see. Oh, success is a planned event. Know your averages. And I really like this because we did a lot of this when I was kind of growing up in Mary Kay, of breaking down like how many calls do you need to make to get a hold of somebody. We have company averages. Know your averages. Some of your averages are going to be higher, you know. And like one of the directors that got up and taught in the senior and executive class, she said she just came right out and said it. She goes, I know it's not necessarily how old school Mary Kay directors were trained. She goes, but I love one-on-one. She said, I'll sell $300 or $400 to one person. And she enjoys that. And then she does do parties too, but just kind of know how you work your business and kind of work in your strengths. There was a whole class on that. We didn't get to go to that one though. Ryan, again, he's been 25 years now with the company, you guys. They started him out at the bottom. I remember being at a focus group because I was at director's training and I was one of the sales mentors and he was in the room and he was just starting and he literally worked every department. He worked at the branch. He learned everything from the ground up. And just even talking to him and Jessica Bear, Mary Kay's great granddaughter. He's Mary Kay's grandson. Jessica, she spent like 25 minutes with April and I. She spent half of the reception just standing there and talking to us and getting to know us. And we were asking a lot of questions about, where she is. But Marilyn, Mary Kay's only daughter, had 5 children. And her mom, Jessica's mom, was the last of Marilyn's children. So, or no, Jessica's mom was the last of the last of the last. So she is a great granddaughter, and it's just her and Ryan are the only 2 that actually work in the company. And there's hundreds of them because she talked about how many kids there were between Mary Kay's 3 children and the grandchildren, now the greats. So, and then of course, Ryan, he talks about Everly all the time. She's 16 years old now. I can't even believe that, his daughter. So he's, grooming her to take over someday like Mary Kay did with him. But again, he really, really made that point. Mary Kay, and maybe some of you don't know, but there are a lot of companies that have changed their business model or family-owned companies that have sold out. And then a lot of companies that have dissolved and closed their doors that are in direct sales. So they said, we will not change. It's all about multi-generation. And they talked a lot about succession plan, which is what Mary Kay set up the national sales director position for. And this was brought up multiple times too. They're really setting us up to grow for decades to come. So every decision that they make, everything they're doing right now is with that in mind. It's not just about right now. It is about setting us up now and in the future, as Mary Kay did. She was such a visionary. Forward future generations. And then of course they gave us the challenge for the skincare sets. And you guys step up to director. I want you to look that up. If your goal is DIQ or to finish directorship by June, check that out because there's a lot of extra benefits and the qualifications are just slightly different. So instead of focusing on minimums, it's doing a little bit more production, a few more numbers, and you get a lot. They're doing a special retreat in the fall. If you don't get to go to the retreat, they're going to send you a $500 check. So, but then of course you can earn your director suit, you can earn seminar registration, all of that. They're really, really promoting leadership. And you heard why. Many of the NSDs are retiring. They've done their duty. They've done their 15 plus years. They're 65. In order to take advantage of, they don't have to retire, but in order to take advantage of the retirement, they do. So there's a lot of room at the top. And so the company's really, really focusing on passing it on. And a lot of the national shared, you don't have to necessarily want the position of national sales director, but passing it on is basically one of the things that we signed up for when we joined Mary Kay, not just the product, but the opportunity so that these next generations have it. And it was really cool. It's not in my notes, but of how many of the national sales directors' daughters our daughters-in-law became directors prior to them debuting as an emeritus because they could pass on their personal unit. So literally a way to leave a legacy, which I think is so brilliant and amazing. And yes, there was a lot of talk, a lot of training on social media and ways to build that way. But I liked this little comment. You don't have to be an influencer, just be yourself. Be yourself, be you, because you're going to attract people who you're supposed to attract. This was something that I thought was really good because, we have so many different ways to communicate with people, but almost 5 billion people, or there are almost 5 billion people who respond to email in terms of marketing. We think it's all Facebook, TikTok, and of course the kids got away from Facebook on Instagram and then TikTok to get away from all the parents. They have their own little ways to communicate with each other, but almost 5 billion respond to marketing through email. So it's not dead. Keep using your emails and your social media platforms to communicate with people. Kind of almost have to do it all. Jessica Baird did share these numbers, and this sheet, I believe these were in total, that the foundation started in 1996, so it's been 30 years now, almost, and 100 million, just shy of 100 million, has been raised to the Mary Kay Ash Foundation. 3.2 million for shelter grants, and I don't know if that's every year, maybe, or just last year. And then last year, 280 grants for research, and they're finding early detection for women's cancer. So they're having some success with this.
It was 2,800 shelter grants and 3.2 million women have been affected by the grants.
Oh, okay. Well,
So that has to be
touching
over the long term, I think.
that might, okay, so maybe that was what I wrote down, 280 grants for research. So if it was 2,800 grants, that would make sense that it was for the entirety of the foundation existing. And because it did start out, Mary Kay, the foundation was really about finding cures for cancers that affect women, and then expanded into domestic violence education, and then also helping those affected by it. And then the 50 products, the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval is not easy to get. So, and already the dynamic wrinkle limiter is on that list already. So they would guarantee our product even if we didn't. And so not everybody knows about that, but it is a really big deal to have that. Lucy Gildo, she's our medical, I don't know her official title, but she's basically the doctor, this chief scientific officer, I believe. She said that skincare alone is $569 billion in revenue globally in 2023. It went up 6% from 2022. So, I remember when it was a couple billion that they talked about that people spent on this. But it is a huge, huge industry, and we are in the right place. So we will win with skin was one of the things that was kind of their little logo with us. That's the focus. Of course, we have to have the other fun products too.
And we, in 1953, started with 4 skincare products. 4
skincare products in 63. I remember when we just had one skincare line and a little bit of color. And that was back in 1991. So this was something that kind of leading up through the whole class, again, be yourself, be authentic, get into action, but find a win. We're kind of we're in a new year, not the new seminar year in Mary Kay, but we get 2 new fresh starts. So find a win, find a way to win. Do something you've never done before. Maybe try a virtual party, maybe try sharing the business opportunity, but find some kind of a win that will give you the confidence to keep going. This was Chelsea Adkins, and she was a top director with Jamie Taylor, and she was adorable. And I guess she's quite active on social media. I'm going to find her. But she had so many she's the one that said she really liked one-on-one, but find a set sheet that you love to close your parties with. Find a good set sheet that you love, because there's so many different ones out there, and then run with that. Same thing with Hostess Plan. She does a thing called the 8-minute face, and it's basically dash out the door look. But she, you don't be afraid to come up with your own little lingo and your own little selling strategies and fun little appointments and things like that. Selling is serving. We think selling is taking from people, but it's serving. It's helping them. Have you guys ever gone to the mall or any of the department stores and seen how overwhelming and how many different things are there? We are serving by giving people education and knowledge and showing them what to use, customized for their skin type. I don't know if this is in my notes, but I want to make sure that I cover it. Is that there's concern about some of the samples going away, but this was actually from Angel, the guy that was the first male national sales director from Brazil, and he, I think he was a professional hairstylist. That was what his profession was before, and as well as he was kind of moving more into the cosmetic side of things. But he said use the apps. Use the Mirror Me app and have people try those colors on the app. Everybody has, a device or a gadget or something where they can download the Mary Kay Mirror Me app. And then oh my gosh, what's the other one? The skincare one, Skin Analyzer app. The Skin Analyzer app, incentivize people to go on your website and do the skin analysis or download the app, register on your website, give them a lip gloss or a mascara or whatever for doing those things, because that will recommend products to them. So use those apps to sell. It's not quite the same as putting it on their face, but a lot of times people just want to know what's customized, what should I be doing, right? And so because there is so much, there's so many products. We have about 300 in our line now. Oh, and then she talked a lot about when you get ready to sell, what are you thinking? She goes, I just go in, I have the expectation they are buying a skincare set. They're not just buying the lipstick. So positive expectation. Your network is your net worth. So make connections, go out there and make connections. People are everywhere that you go. Results come quickly when you decide to commit. And it's so true. This one gal, she was Rachel Ryan. She had just had a baby and she was talking about how she was nuts for the first, 8 months because her baby wouldn't sleep through the night. She said she had to commit to allowing the baby to cry for a couple nights. She said 2 days later, he's sleep trained. And so she used this whole thing as an example of that results come quickly when we decide to commit. There's so many different notes that I have, but a couple more things. When you have challenges and obstacles, it's a sign that you're headed for greatness, right? It's part of your I story. We always say that. It's just part of your building your I story. Confidence comes from consistent action. If you do a party and then you don't do a party for another year, you have to kind of build up your confidence and your skills and your pace and everything again. So consistency always. Oh, this was another thing that was brought up more than once. We get in our head and we complicate a very simple business. It's just book, coach, sell, team build, and follow up. Just get your systems in place and get into action. I'm going to save that because I have a couple of things that I'm going to use for a training. Tammy Craig, it was just sad to see her retiring because I just didn't even think she was old enough, but she left us with just a few top tips. Number one, the daily mental bath with just get it one booking, do your positive affirmations, do some kind of training, and listen to the hotline. That's the mental daily bath. She's the one that coined that. The bubble sheets. She's the one that came up with the bubble sheets of how many attempts that you need to make to be able to get a hold of people to get the bookings to hold the appointments. The 4-hour plan. You can find any of this on Google. The 4-hour plan of Tammy Craig. She says you don't have to work 8 hours a day, even as a top director in Mary Kay. The 4-hour plan, 3 + 3 + 3, which is 3 appointments, $300 in sales, 3 sharing appointments every week. And she said, be grateful that it happened, not sad that it's over. She's moving on. She's moved down to Florida and she's married, and I'm sure she's not done yet. And again, our company has not only survived, we have thrived. And I think this was indicated that our company's in a very there's just so much more power right now. It's like there's like this up step in everything. It just really felt like it, even from seminar, that it's like we're kind of, pulling our pantyhose up after the past 4 or 5 years after COVID. And even though a lot of people thrived, some people kind of dipped this last year or so, trying to figure out which way to go. If you don't want to do your stuff virtually, don't do it in person. If you want to open up your, if you want to only do virtual, do virtual. Like we heard it all over. There were some that were like, I only do this, and some that are like, I only do this. And there's not a right or wrong way. Do what brings you joy and what works for you. But our company needs leaders. And we do not want to, there was a whole thing done by Donna and Sweeney about we don't want to be the generation that drops the ball. We want to keep passing the baton. That was very, very highly emphasized. Even if your goal is not directorship, like who can I attract who has the kinds of qualities and characteristics that I enjoy? I really enjoyed listening to that male national sales director,
Angel.
Angel Guerrera. Okay, I've got all those. Couple more things. And people want this opportunity. Patricia Turker, she joined when she was 18 years old. Her mom was a director in Mary Kay. She's now made over 11 million. She's 8 times in the inner circle. And she said, people want this opportunity and people want to succeed in this business. Where are you headed and why does it matter to you? I loved your goal poster, your vision board, Jen, because it wasn't just a dollar amount or a goal. It was, these are the things that's going to get me. And when you focus on that, you don't have to know the how-tos and the wherefores, but sometimes your goals are driven by the things that you want in your life: freedom, flexibility, fun, travel, stuff for your home, that kind of thing. So why does it matter to you? Vision without action is only a dream. A lot of this you guys have heard that have been around. Guard your focus. That we are being pulled in so many directions and we are being given so many things to look at, to focus on, to take us away. That's why I told April, it's okay if you're not posting pictures while you're here because you're present. You're being where, you came to be here. We invest a lot to take these trips, and man, we were in our chairs for every minute of it. We soaked in every single bit of it, didn't miss a beat. And it was so much fun. And yeah, we did have great weather until the last day. And then it was pouring down rain and we had to run down there and take back these things that April had bought the night before and grab some lunch. And we're running and slipping and sliding. And my heel of my pink shoes that I love, I'm going to get it fixed, got stuck in the crack. And so I went flying, kind of similar to Kelly and my thing. And it broke my strap. And so I had to go buy shoes literally like right then because I couldn't walk in them.
I
And
raced to catch her though.
it
I did
was-
race to catch her.
It was
Some
one
of
of
that
those, but anyway, I guess it's just kind of a trend now. But we had so much fun and I got to really enjoy spending time with my daughter-in-law, Samantha. She's on here and be there for her bridal shower and spend time with family and with Matt and lots of excuses to go back and spend more time. And we did kind of plant some seeds with Mary Kay with some of her family that was around too. And she's getting all set up. So I'm super excited to get to go there more and spend more time and work with you more. And then you guys, I don't know if you saw the picture of Isla Burgart, our National Sales Director Emeritus, but she retired over 15 years ago. And she's like 93, I think.
She's in her
Yeah.
90s.
So 65, 75. So she's like retired, like 30 years ago? We've been in the Mary Kay National area for a long time.
It's been about 30 years.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if she got remarried. I'd heard a rumor that she did, but she's got a boyfriend and she goes to lunch and she works out and she looks unbelievable. When you look at her face, I zoomed in on the picture that I took. You don't see a wrinkle on her face. And I asked her if she was coming because she lives in San Antonio. And she said, I'll be there tomorrow, but she just came for the NSD Emeritus. But I think there were like 20 or 30 retired nationals there that wanted to be there to support the company. So a lot of them aren't really going anywhere and, are available to work with us. So if there's somebody that you really want to see, let us know and we'll see if we can get them here. So anyway, I've rambled on long enough, but I'm sure there's things that I have forgotten to share, but April and I were talking about a topic that we wanted to kind of share before career conference too, but also Mary Kay's words and why we do things the way that we do. So I'm going to give it up for April for a motivational close, and thanks you guys for tuning in.
I'll
Can I-
just say really quick too, you were both right. These stats are from 2023, but 270 plus cancer research grants were awarded and 2,700 plus domestic violence shelters have received grants.
Okay,
So you were both right. It's
We
just
both
one
had
was the
different-
cancer research, and one was
Oh,
the
good.
domestic violence shelter.
Right.
So,
Wow, thank
right,
you for
I-
sharing.
have it. They had the 230 million women had been impacted. I think that's how I
Yeah.
wrote it. I was writing so fast that I
Yeah, I
didn't want to
know.
miss my
Yeah,
numbers,
there's
so.
much statistics, so it's amazing.
Cool.
But yeah, those cancer research grants are huge size wise. Anyways.
And all the shelters, I think every state has received a grant from
Every
Mary
year,
Kay.
they pretty much get
Every
100,000.
state.
Every state gets 100,000 each year.
So for those of you who can't hear, Jen was saying that every state every year gets like $100,000 in grants from the Mary Kay Foundation at domestic violence shelters.
That
So,
was Lewiston.
yeah, last year was Lewiston. I remember that.
I
Yeah.
forgot to show you the charms.
Oh.
So the
Got the
charm
wrong
bracelet, it was the charm bracelet, that Mary Kay had at the foundation at seminar. There were 4 that came with it if you bought the bracelet, but this year, they added one and it was the Alamo for Leadership Conference. And so you can just keep adding these charms every time. It's $20, I think, for each charm. And so, I brought Jen back. The one from leadership.
Yeah, so Jen was saying, and just reiterate, 2,800 shelters have been given grants since the inception of the Mary Kay Foundation. 280 research have been given.
Research, yeah.
Grant recipients have been given, there have been 280 grant recipients for research for cancer, and then 3.2 million women have been affected by the grants. So, and I don't know if that was one or the other, but
It didn't say in the stats that I had
she
here,
shared
but yeah.
3.2 million, and I was like writing that one down.
Right.
That's a big one. And I forgot when, so Patricia Turker was one of our last speakers, and she said, don't stop, dream bigger and create a lasting impact. What stories will you leave to those who follow you? And that one impacted me too, and I forgot to share it earlier, so I wanted to share that one. Okay, so I know we have a lot of new people, and you know, Denise and I are kind of old school and proud of it, totally proud of it. And this was something that started circulating again, and so I just thought I'd read it and share real quick in our closing. You know, when we first came into Mary Kay, we were told you have to wear pantyhose and dresses and all that, and I can tell you, I was the one, and I owned boots and jeans. I didn't own a dress, and I was like, well, I'm not wearing a dress because I don't own one. And I was living in low-income housing. So eventually I went to a thrift store, bought a white jacket or a white blouse, a black skirt, and some pumps. And that was my uniform. And then I was ready for the red jacket when I earned it, and I wore it to everything, every Mary Kay event, every skincare class, every facial. I wore it all the time until I could afford to buy something new. And nobody ever said anything to me because it was the same one. So anyway, this was something that was done. Many of you don't know why dresses are so important in Mary Kay. And it's not that they're important in Mary Kay, they're important in life. And there was some research done a couple of different times in the last few decades. This one I think was done in the 80s. I think this one was the 80s one, because I've seen them both. And again, information junkie. And this was something that was actually written on by Mary Kay, the woman. So right here, Mary Kay hand wrote on this article here and here. And this was given to a national. And I'll read what it says here. So making it. So many of you don't know why, and I'm just going to tell you why we wear dresses. There's an impact in it. There's actual like psychological reason why we do it. And you know, our integrity is pretty high as a company. So making it. Clothing makes the woman. Women, if you want to wear the pants in your office, don't. Research into the effect of clothing on a woman's career has singled out pants as one of those items that give off all the wrong signals. The research says the wearer does not expect to be taken seriously, unless surprisingly, it's in a sexual manner. And it's not to say that pants aren't appropriate in certain places. This is just in the workplace. And the truly professional woman doesn't want her clothes to send a sexual message. My researchers and I put the question, would a woman in a pantsuit fit into your executive office? To 500 executives in a cross-section of American corporations. Of those 500 corporations, 402 said no. Then we administered a twin test, a technique developed to measure the reaction of large numbers of respondents to a specific item of clothing. The test included 2 pictures of the same woman wearing 2 versions of the same blazer suit. In one photo, the suit had slacks, and the other, it had a skirt. We asked the people taking the test to guess which twin was smarter, earned more, had a better education, and a better job. So I'm going to say that all one more time. We asked the people taking the test which one was smarter, earned more, had a better education, and a better job. From 80 to 94% of the time, the positive attributes were assigned to the picture of the woman in the skirt. Male executives assigned the positive attributes to the skirted women 94% of the time, while female executives made the positive association with the skirted look 88% of the time. This was one of the rare occasions when the reaction of the general public mirrored that with that of the executives. The skirted woman got the nod from the general public 84% of the time. I considered the results sufficient to conclude that a woman wearing a skirt will command more respect than the same woman in pants. To further the test, that conclusion went to 50 women who agreed to wear identical outfits with the one variable, slacks or a skirt, about a week apart. They further agreed that for 2 years, they would rate their authority at the end of each test day on a scale of 1 to 10. In every single case, the woman reported a higher score for the skirt than the pants. And Mary Kay wrote up here, we encourage professional dress for all Mary Kay events, which is why we still fly in a dress and when we travel to our Mary Kay events. And then Mary Kay put on the bottom, isn't it wonderful to know that we have been right, and it's underlined, all along in maintaining a feminine image in our company, and our is underlined, Mary Kay. And so that's why we do, because Mary Kay asked us to, and there's been research and studies done. I'm not saying you have to wear a dress, but I am saying there's a reason why we talk about it and why some of us do. So if anybody wants copies, I can scan it and send it to you.
I'll
But
put it on Boxer.
Oh, yeah, I'll put it on Boxer. There we
Okay,
go.
you put it on Boxer.
I got it on. Oh, you have it on your phone too?
I have it on my phone.
Oh,
But you
okay.
can too.
One of us will put it on Boxer. So it'll be on Boxer if you want it. And then I think let's just end on that. I am just so appreciative and grateful for this company, for every opportunity it's given me in the last 34 years. I can't wait to see what the next 34 years hold. And I'm looking forward to becoming a national sales director and helping to replace some of those leaders and ambassadors of our company. And it comes with all of the help from all of you, like my unit and our area. It's a support network that is there's just nothing out there like what we have. So that's all. Do you have anything else?
Can't think of anything.
All right. Well, have a great Tuesday night. We'll see you guys next week.
Let us know if you want the challenge. the
Oh
red
yes.
jacket,
Let us know if you want the challenge for the red jacket
or DIQ.
or DIQ.
Mhm.
Denise, I can't. Yours are left-handed. I can't do it. Or the pin. Or the pin. You got to come shut it off.
Okay.
Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
both so much. Love you guys.
I didn't look at any of the chats. Let me look really quick.
Okay.
Love you
Oh.
guys. Talk to you later tonight, Denise.
There's 20 chats. Hold on. Hold on.
Heidi and I chatted a lot.
Oh, you guys did? Oh, I see it. Okay. Oh my goodness. You guys been talking on here. I know, like I can't really monitor it. Okay. I can hear on Zoom. Okay. Sandy. I know, I'm so excited to have Sandy. Mimi. Everyone's like, I love your board, Jen. Like the frame idea, April. That's me. I love double facials. Kelly goes, leadership is the best time to fall. Oh, the article was written a long time ago. Yeah. All right, girls. Sorry, I was holding you on here. Oh yeah, they gave us a purse. And you guys, the very one thing that I forgot, even though I have 100 of them, is a little bag.
So
And
we
but
all got one of these.
I know,
and went to
but-
The reception.
I know that Samantha's cousin loved it. Not like it's a Mary Kay prize, so.
Those are gorgeous.
And their
Yeah,
designer,
Super cute.
Consuelo or something
yeah,
like that,
Consuelo.
some kind of,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
those of us who got
Yeah.
to go to the reception earned
was
one
so
of
fun.
these. Yay.
yeah,
Gorgeous.
yes. All right, girls, we'll see
Right.
you on Zoom
Love
next week.
you.
Have a wonderful, fantastic week.
Thank you.
night.
Love you. Bye.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not just a fair.